Welcome everybody to yoga virtually. I'm Diane. I teach chair yoga and gentle yoga at the Family Caregiver Center. And I hope you enjoy the practice today. It's going to be, I'm thinking about 35, maybe 45 minutes, somewhere in that range. So I want to introduce to you a booklet that I've made. It's called Yoga for Everyone. And it has different yoga poses in it that you could use as a guide if you wanted to. And it's available at the Family Caregiver Center if you'd like a copy. And what I'm going to do in our practice today is just follow the steps and follow the poses and the postures in the booklet. So you'll get an idea of what's in here. And it's kind of a just an overview of different things that we can do during yoga practice. I'm so thrilled to have you here. So nice to have this opportunity for time out for me, for you, to give yourself the gift of presence, the gift of peace, the gift of paying attention to yourself, which is, as we know, sometimes difficult as we care for other people. We need to practice taking care of ourselves as well. So I'm going to take a scooch back in my chair and just make sure that my feet are comfortably planted in the earth, about hip width apart. My back is supported by the back of the chair. If you need to put a pillow or something behind your back to feel that support, feel free to go ahead and do that. Just make sure you're comfortable. We'll take a minute to just settle in. And we do this beginning with closing the eyes, drawing the attention inward. And a good way to bring the attention inward as we try to find a place of calm and escape a little bit from everything happening in the outside world is to notice when you're breathing. So take a nice breath in through the nose. Nice and easy, and exhale through the nose. Just noticing the sensation of the air moving in through the nose. Just bringing that awareness internally. Drawing yourself inward, inhale again. And exhale gently. Notice the sense with the next inhale of the chest opening and softening with the breath. And if it feels good to you to take a deep breath in, and then just let it out with a big sigh through the mouth. That can feel really freeing. So just explore a little bit. Yoga is all about exploration, the practice. Inhale again. There's no perfect or right way. You get to be the person in charge of what feels right for you. And as we settle into being aware of our breathing, let's take that just another step farther. You can leave the eyes closed or you can open the eyes, whatever you'd like. Let's bring the hands to the low belly. Place your hands. I forgot to mention I've got a little bit extra of a challenge today with my splint on here, but that certainly won't keep me from practicing. Bring the hands, palms onto the belly, just lightly resting. Take a nice big breath in through the nose and send that breath all the way down deep into the low belly by the navel. Let the breath expand the belly. It's big, and maybe even reach and touch your hands, your fingertips. And then let that breath out, sending it out from the bottom of your belly all the way up through your chest and nose. Again, inhale, big breath through the nose into the belly, way down deep, big belly breath. And release, allowing the air to escape. And now bring your hands up just a little bit higher to the midsection of the torso, maybe finding a place on your ribs, on your rib cage, if that's a position that you can be comfortable with. Let the breath with the inhale come down into the belly, and then expanding into the rib cage, Notice even greater expansion, spaciousness, freedom. Exhale. And again, the breath comes in, deep down into the belly. Expand the belly first, and then fill up to the rib cage and exhale again. And now bring your hands to the chest, one palm on each side of your breastbone. Take a nice breath in, big breath, send it down deep first, filling up the low belly, filling up into the rib cage, and then finally filling all the way up to the upper chest. Take your time. Maybe even pause the end of the inhale and then release, releasing from the belly first, all the way up through the chest. Again, big breath. Feeling that relaxation that comes with softening, opening, and then release. Nice, nice, nice. And then relax the hands, bring them to your lap. Find yourself just staying in a comfortable position. And just starting with the neck and the upper part of the shoulders, just turn your head to one side very slowly. Just look over one shoulder or the other. Just slowly waking up the neck muscles, keeping your chin level, your gaze straight ahead. Come back to center and moving to the second side. You might think about combining the breath. Inhale, turn the head to the second side. Pause and exhale. And inhale, come back to center. And pause here. Let's do that one more time. Just allow the breath to flow easily. It's not so important that you match the breath to any particular movement. So just easy breathing, rotating the head one side. Just the awareness of your breath as you're moving, and then back to center and to the second side. And back to center. Starting from center, keeping the gaze straight ahead, just allow your ear, whichever one you like, to drift towards the shoulder. You'll notice a nice opening, and not to force anything, but just paying attention to any awakening of the muscles, maybe a little bit of tension or tightness. Just notice, don't force, breathe into that side of the neck. And coming back up to center, second side, allow that second ear to drop in the direction of the shoulder, just nice and easy. And coming back to center. We'll do that one more time on each side. Ear to shoulder, chin stays level. Back to center and second side. So neck muscles are so tight, they carry a lot of weight in the head, support our head, carry a lot of tension. And now allow the chin to just lower slowly, gently towards the chest, looking down into the heart space. And keeping the shoulders relaxed, just slide the chin along the front of your chest, maybe in the direction of an armpit, whichever side you choose, pausing here. Breathing into the opposite side of the neck and the upper back and shoulder. And slowly moving back to center and just continuing on to the second side. And back to center one more time. To each side. Enjoying the gentle movement. The sense of relaxing the muscles. And then coming back to center, lift the head. And now I'm going to ask if you're comfortable to go ahead and scoot forward in your chair to give your upper body a little bit more freedom and movement as we move into the shoulders and the arms. So begin by just bringing one shoulder up towards one ear. Keep the hands on top of the thighs, nice and relaxed. Your feet connected to the floor. The feet should be right underneath the knees. Draw one shoulder up towards the ear and just let it relax. And then the second side, up towards the ear and relax. And again, just shrugging off some of the tension. And one last time. And this time we'll bring both shoulders up and then roll the shoulders back. Just hug the shoulder blades together. Maybe pause here for a minute. Enjoy the openness in the chest space. And bring the shoulders down and forward. We'll do that again. Both shoulders up towards the ears. Roll them back. Open the space between the shoulders. Feel some freedom in the front of the body. And then lower the shoulders, coming back to neutral. This time we'll reverse, going backwards. So slide the hands back on the thighs, open the chest, bring the shoulders up, forward, and down. Back again, this time bringing the shoulders up, forward. You might pause here, tuck the chin, feeling space in the back between the shoulder blades, down, and again back, up, forward, and down. And now we'll move the shoulders in opposite directions. And if it's a little bit of a challenge, just rotating the shoulders, letting the hands slide backward and forward on top of the thighs. Don't worry about it. You can just move your shoulders in any way that feels good. It feels like you're becoming loose and you have more freedom. And then reversing directions. One more time. And coming back to center. Now I'm going to turn sideways on my chair and just ask you to keep seated on the front of your chair a little bit. Bring your feet under your knees. Knees are hip width apart. Lift your chest and extend your arms out in front of you at about shoulder height. If the arms get heavy, feel free to rest them and relax them on top of your legs. The shoulders come out. Clasp the fingers. Press the knuckles, inhale, lift the chest, press the knuckles with the exhale away from your chest. Exhale, then rotate your wrists and arms so that your fingers are still clasped. Your palms are facing away from your chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press your palms away from your chest, just gently. And a couple more times, just rotating the arms, the upper arms, the elbows, and the wrists. Knuckles are pressed away from the chest and then reversing so the palms are away from the chest. Waking up the arms. One more time. Nice, nice. And then allow the hands to come back and rest in the lap. And I'm going to stay sideways on my chair, moving into seated cobra, paying attention and noticing lengthening in the spine. So find the side of your chair, press your palms on each side of your hips, one on each side of your hips, into the seat of your chair, keeping the hands close to your body, pressing your feet into the floor. Lift the gaze a little bit. With an inhale, find some movement and some room to extend and lengthen the spine all the way from the tailbone. And you can just sort of visualize each part of the vertebra as you inhale, lifting, lengthening all the way up to the crown of your head. Pause here. And again, using your feet connected to the earth and your hands connected to your seat. Excuse me. Inhale, lengthen. One step at a time. Pause here. Notice space being created. Tendons and ligaments in your spine. You're enjoying the freedom and movement. And then go ahead, relax. And I'll turn my seat back around this way. Just to wake up the side of the body here. I'm just going to extend one arm up towards the sky. If it's comfortable to do that, please feel free. If there are limitations in your shoulder, you have options to bring the hand to the shoulder or keep your hand at your waist. So I'll bring my arm up and using that lengthening in the spine, inhale, lengthening, lifting. To inhale with the exhale, just allow the body, the side of the body to open up and just coming over a little bit, finding some freedom in the rib cage. You might turn your head and look at your palm that's up towards the sky. Pause here, inhale, breathe into that long side body. And exhale, come back up to center. Moving to the second side, keeping your hand, your arm, your shoulder, wherever it's comfortable. Extend, inhale, lengthen, and with the exhale, just gently bring your awareness to the side of your body. And inhale, lengthen, exhale, come back up to center. Really nice. So moving into a twist, just a simple little twist. Keep your feet connected to the earth. Bring your hands to the tops of your legs, your thighs, and just start by moving your hands, just sliding your hand towards, one hand towards your hip and the other hand towards your knee. And with the hands moving forward and backward on the thigh, you'll sort of start to sense that the torso wants to move with that. So allow the hands to move and let the middle of the body, the abdomen, the shoulders, and the head just follow along. So you're generating the twist from the middle of the body where you have a lot of core strength. Nice deeper twist. And just gently going from side to side at whatever pace feels right for you. And last side and coming back to center. Nice. So I'm going to turn to the side again, come to the front of your seat a little bit, extend one foot straight out with the heel on the floor. And point and flex your toe. The leg is straight, the second leg is bent, the foot's connected to the floor, the straight leg, the heel is connected. Point and flex the foot. Point and flex, waking up the legs, the thighs, the calves, the shins. And if it feels good, go ahead and move your foot side to side. Just stretching out the ankle a little bit. Can feel nice. Rotating, a little bit of rotation in the hip. Nice. And then draw your heel back under your leg. So your foot's under your knee, second side. Extend the opposite leg straight forward, keeping the heel on the floor. And just point and flex the toe. And just so that it feels like a nice stretch, you can reach the toes towards the floor and then bring them back up towards the nose. And side to side. Maybe a little circle if you like. And then draw the heel back under the knee and come back to center. I'll turn around and face this way. So with both feet on the floor, curl your toes under. Allow the arches to come up. And just squeeze the toes together and then straighten them, spread the toes wide, curl the toes under, spread the toes wide. One more time. Nice. And now we've got the upper and lower body warmed up, so we're going to prepare to stand. And in order to stand up and use the muscles, the strongest muscles in our body to support our back and our upper body, I'm going to just bring my hands to my hip crease, my pinky finger to my hip crease, lifting and lengthening the spine, bring my feet under back under my knees just a little bit, connecting my feet to the floor and engaging the muscles in my legs. I'm going to take a nice inhale. Exhale, press into the floor and come up to a standing position. So we avoid that rounding of the back and using the back muscles to bring us up. We're really working and relying on our quadriceps muscles. Coming over to the side of my chair, moving into some of the standing poses. So feel free to support yourself with one hand or two hands on the chair through any of the standing poses. I'm going to bring my weight to one leg and allow the second leg to either come up off the floor. I'll turn sideways like this. If it's more comfortable for you, you can keep the toe on the floor. But if you draw the knee up, you engage the standing muscles in the standing leg, and then just feel free to point and flex as you're standing here. Maybe make circles with your foot in one direction and then the other direction. And then bring your foot back to the earth, moving to the second side. So you find the spot on your chair where you feel most supported. You can stand behind it or you can stand next to it. Bringing your weight to the second leg, draw the opposite knee up off the floor or keep the toe just connected to the floor. Maybe you just want to tap the floor to make sure that you're not too far away. Point and flex, point and flex. Maybe some circles, keeping the chest lifted, the gaze is straight forward. Nice, reversing directions. And coming back to center. Very nice. So moving into tree pose, a balance pose, which is always challenging, and we always tend to let our egos get in the way when we're attempting balancing, but it's always a work in progress. It's always a practice. So we just do the best we can and know that we're improving and doing things that will improve our balance and help keep our bodies safe. So in tree pose, you have options to bring the toe to the floor and the heel to the inside of the ankle. You have an option to bring the bottom of the foot to the calf of the opposite leg. And you have an option to bring the foot all the way up to the inside of the thigh, which I'm not sure I'll be able to reach with my hand. Not at the knee, avoid bringing your foot to the knee, but bringing it up to the inside of the thigh. Keeping your hand on the chair, you can practice. I'll keep my knee right here with bringing one arm up. Firmly connecting the standing leg to the earth and the bent leg to the standing leg. You can bring the hands to the heart center. If you feel like you want to play and practice with releasing the hands from the chair, feel free to do that. Just take a moment to explore and see where your body is today. It helps to find a focal point in the distance, keeping your gaze lifted. And just play and say, And then go ahead, release your foot to the floor, release the hands. Moving to the second side, choosing where you want your tree to be. You might experiment a little bit with really rooting down with a standing foot, finding a focal point, bringing your hands wherever you'd like them to be, but noticing a sense of the tree growing. So you're lengthening the spine while you're rooting down, lengthen the spine, rise up. Maybe the arms come up, really lifting, reaching. And again, exploring. And bring your hands to heart center and your foot to the floor. Nice practice. I'm going to turn my chair sideways and we'll move into a standing cat and cow pose. So please bring your hands to the back of your chair and then just take a couple steps back. This is a really good practice for loosening up the lower spine, the lumbosacral spine. And get really tight. So bring the hands to the back of your chair, bend the knees, just gently, slightly, keep the shoulders relaxed and the chest lifted. With an inhale, lift the chin, scoop the tailbone away from the chair. So you've got a little curve in the back. Lift the gaze a little bit. With the exhale, scoop the tailbone forward towards the back of the chair. Just lower the chin, keep the back straight. Gaze into the heart space. Inhale, opposite direction. The tailbone scoops away from the chair. The chin can lift. And exhale, lower the chin. Draw the tailbone down and towards the back of the chair. Notice the belly tones with this. One more time. Inhaling, the belly comes kind of sags forward a little bit. And toning the belly, drawing the tailbone underneath and forward. And then coming back to neutral and standing. And now moving into warrior one pose. Step one foot back, keep one foot forward. Bend the forward foot to about a 90-degree angle. And you can keep your hands on the back of the chair, or you can release one hand or two hands. The back leg is straight, the heel is connected to the earth. And in warrior one pose, you can release the hands. They can come forward, can come up. And just pause here and notice the lower body engaged, connected with the earth, supporting the upper body, the arms. Pause here, breathe. And now bring the hands back to the chair. And we'll move into just a little bit of movement with this. With an inhale, straighten the front leg, keep the back toes on the floor. Now both legs are straight. Exhale, come back down. Drop the back heel, bend the front knee, and then come up again. Inhale up, and come up on your tiptoes, and then exhale, come back down. One more time. Inhale up, and back down. Yeah, just a little movement. If you'd like to combine this with releasing the arms, you can add a little balance practice here. It's an option as well. Now step your back foot forward. The front foot comes back. And now the back foot, the heel is connected to the earth. The front knee is bent. Both heels are on the floor. The knee should be in the front, right over the ankle. And it should be sort of in line with the middle toes of your foot. So just take a peek there. Pause here, keep the hands on the chair, or perhaps release them. Finding that connection between the earth and the sky. Pause. And then bring your hands back to the chair. And begin to just lift the back heel, straighten both legs. And then back down, feeling free to release the hands. One hand, maybe both. Up, back. And one more time. Nice. And then bring your foot back to the floor, step your foot forward, and then turning sideways to your chair, preparing for warrior two. Bring your feet a little bit wider than your hips. You want a kind of a wide stance, but not so wide that you're going to lose your stability. Turn one foot perpendicular or outward, keeping the back foot with the toes pointing towards the front of your mat or your surface. And then the front foot is, the heel of your front foot should line up with the arch of your back foot. Bending into the front knee, just make an attempt to keep the knee, again, over the ankle and in line with the middle toes. Facing forward, just inhale, allow the arms to come up. And spread your wings wide, and then exhale. Just bend into that front knee, gaze out over your extended front arm. Allow the shoulders to relax. Feeling a sense of reaching, connecting, stability. Pause and breathe. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Turn your foot forward and bring your hands down to the chair. Second side, turning the opposite foot so that the heel is perpendicular and in line with the arch of the back leg. Bending into that front knee just a little bit. Extend the arms up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend a little bit more. Look out in the direction over your fingers. Just feel, notice your body adjusting. And lower the hands. Turn both feet forward and walk your feet together. And turn and face the back of your chair. And if you're near a wall for downward facing dog, you can also use a wall. Bring your hands to whatever level you want on the wall. You can use the back of your chair, bring both hands so they're connected, and then take 3 or 4 steps back so your arms start to get really long and you can feel your upper body lowering. Bring your feet at least hip width apart. And as you keep your knees soft and you lower your chest and your head, have a sense of allowing the back of the body to stretch and reach away from the chair. You can bring the head no lower than right in between your elbows, the inside of your elbows. Pause here. Lift the hips. And then press the thighs back a little bit, really lengthening the back and the back body. And go ahead and inhale. Lift the shoulders, lift the head, and take steps forward, coming back to the chair. Really nice. We're going to go ahead and get ready to sit down. And in order to sit down, we find the crease of our hips. And making sure we know where the seat is behind us. Keeping the shoulders upright and the chest lifted. Inhale. To exhale, just go ahead and lower the seat. Again, using our large muscles in our thighs to save extra work on the back. So very nice. Pausing while we're seated and making sure that we have sort of an awareness of our posture. It's a good opportunity to notice our alignment. So turn sideways again and we'll practice seated mountain pose. So mountain pose gives us the opportunity to experiment and explore what it feels like to be in a healthy posture. Do you notice the sit bones on the bottom of your hips? Just kind of find where those might be and be aware of how they connect to the chair. You have one on each hip. So sensing where the sit bones are, play around with lining up the back of your shoulder blades over the sit bones. And once you kind of find that line, draw your head back to line up with both the shoulders, back of the shoulders and the sit bones. And just notice how that feels to come to that more upright position. We sometimes think it feels uncomfortable or unusual. We're not used to often being in that optimal alignment. So just notice that. You might notice what's happening in the belly. If it's tending to feel fatigued or sagged, you can inhale. Exhale, just draw your belly button to your spine. Inhale again. Exhale, navel to spine. That'll engage this core that will help support this optimal posture. And now I'll turn around, face front. And moving into sort of unwinding. I'm going to come to the front of my chair and with one leg bent, just cross the other foot over the ankle of the bent knee, and you can extend your cross leg out just a little bit if you like, find a comfortable position. So notice it kind of opens to the side and just allow that thigh, that leg to come open, the hip opener. And if you'd like to take the hand and place it on the inside of the thigh, you can just kind of gently move it, opening the hip socket a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, and you'll find a place where it feels comfortable and it's Just creating more space in that hip joint. Bring your foot to the floor, second side, crossing the opposite foot over the ankle. And again, finding that movement, that motion that feels like a nice little nice little massage, that ball and socket joint. And then come back to center, bringing both feet to the center, about hip width apart, and moving into more of a full body twist. I'm going to keep my hands on my thighs and allow my knees to drop to one side a little bit, keeping my feet in the center. Allow the knees to fall to one side. And then I'm going to turn my upper body to the opposite direction. So my knees are going one direction and my shoulders are going the other direction. And as you begin to move to the second side, you can draw your hands, slide them back and forth on top of your thighs and let them help guide you to twist and move so that the knees go to the opposite direction. And so do the shoulders and the upper body. And again, windshield wiper twist. Upper and lower body, really caressing the internal organs in the middle of the body. Twists are really good for wringing out tension, massaging the organs, and then coming back to center. Sitting back. Now let's just stay right here for a minute. Just lift the chest, allow the arms to come open to the sides. You can bring the palms upward. Feel free to close the eyes at any time. Palms facing upward, bring your arms across your chest, giving yourself a hug. One hand goes on top of one shoulder, and the other on top of the other. Pause here and breathe. Inhale. Exhale, open the arms wide again. And this time cross the arms with the opposite arm on top. Give yourself another big hug. Inhale, enjoy. And then bring the hands back to the lap. Draw the feet together, allow the knees to separate, moving into a butterfly position. Allow the knees to fall or drop to the side in a comfortable way. You might notice the bottoms of the feet start to meet each other, or wherever the knees want to be, the feet will just stay connected on the side or at the bottom. And just pause, enjoy relaxing, and then bring the knees together. And then sliding back to your back of your chair, to our starting position. Bring your feet connected to the earth, right under your ankles. Allow your back to be supported again. Just finding a place where you can relax and spend just a few moments resting, letting the body do its work after the movement, sensing, integrating, storing the energy that it needs to move on through your day. So we'll pause, drawing our attention inward. Once again, maybe the attention has wandered. And we always can come back by noticing the breath. We value these last moments of time to gift to ourselves, allowing the open sensation of the breath to nourish, to supply energy, feeling softness all the way from the chest, melting down through the abdomen into the hips and the legs, just relaxing, softening. And into our feet, into the earth. Drawing the breath in, grateful for each breath, for each moment, for each opportunity to nourish oneself, to connect with oneself, to care for oneself. And now bring the hands to the heart center, bow to the heart, closing the eyes. The light in my heart honors the light in each of yours. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the practice. Namaste. Now lower the hands, lift the head, and open the eyes. And I'll just remind you that if you're interested in having a guidebook to go through the practices that we did today, or would be available to you, I'm happy to share that with you. So just let us know. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you again.